First Minister, you didn't really give Douglas Ross an answer on the 3,500 teachers question. Will you deliver that in this Parliament?
What I set out to Douglas Ross is the fact that we face very significant challenges in the public finances because of the deteriorating wider economic situation, principally driven by the invasion of Ukraine and the mess that the Conservatives have made of the public finances. So when you've got inflation at 10%, that erodes the value of your budget. Now, the commitments we gave to...
So that's a no then, isn't it?
Well, what I'm saying is that we've got to be realistic about what can be achieved when there's a deteriorating financial position. And it's all very well having this kind of yaboo exchange about these things. We'll set out in the course of our budget process exactly the commitments that we can fulfil, but we have to recognise the fact that the wider experience of the public finances is deteriorating.
And recognising that it's a no, you can't deliver that, can you?
Well,
it's almost impossible.
Well,
now.
I will go through the process of the development of the government's budget process and the development of the government's policy programme, but I just have to be...
But today you don't think you can do it?
Well, I've got to be straight with people that there are big challenges in the public finances and we're going to have to face up to them, and that's part of what the government will work through as we formulate our budget.
And being straight with them, you don't think you can do it?
Well, I'll be...
You don't think it's possible?
I'll be straight with people when I've done all the work and I'm in a position to give that answer. So there's no point in me giving a rushed answer in a TV interview on First Minister's questions. We'll do it properly. People want serious government in Scotland, and I'm here to deliver that.
You say that there is a majority for independence. You said it at First Minister's questions today. What are you going to do with it?
Well, what I'm going to do is make sure that we build the case for independence and that we explain to people that independence is the solution to some of the challenges that we face in our society today, like the cost of living crisis. That's a product of foolish decisions by Westminster on macroeconomic questions. We've got the implications of Brexit. That is a Westminster decision doing damage to the Scottish economy. And the way out of all of that for Scotland is to be an independent country.
And you've got a majority in the Scottish Parliament, but there's nothing you can really do with that, is there?
Well, what we'll do is we'll build the case for independence, we'll engage with the public, and we'll mobilise support for independence. That's exactly what we'll do.
But there's nothing you can do with the majority in the Parliament for independence to make it come quicker or to deliver it, is there?
Well, what we'll do is we'll get on with making the case for independence and delivering independence as quickly as we can.
Alex Salmond says that an incompetent Scottish government has hindered independence.
That's not the case. The Scottish Government has got a very strong record of delivery. When you look at the improvements in educational performance, when you look at the delivery of infrastructure commitments around the country, when you look at the revolution that's taken place in early learning and childcare, when you look
but then
at...
you throw in things like the ferries and it all goes to pot, doesn't it?
Well, there's going to be 6 new ferries coming to the Clyde and Hebrides network in the course of the next 2 years. That's because of investment by the Scottish Government. And yes,
but the 2 that are being built in Scotland have been in that process longer than the last First Minister was in office.
Well, there are clearly problems with the contract at Ferguson's, of course, but then, and that's an example of a contract that's not worked out well. But let's look at a contract that has worked out well, like the Queensferry Crossing, delivered on time and on budget, or the Borders Railway, or the Aberdeen Western Peripheral Route, or the improvement of the rail network in central Scotland. All these projects have gone well. They are successes. That's a government delivering on its commitments.